But now it looks like we have a poem written especially written especially for us.
Excellent.
And so we'll give you the platform.
Simply
Take it away.
called Harv and Jace.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
From within a home built by skilled hands and grit, upon lands where they vow to protect, honest energies are gifted back to community, offered as good medicines. Chat, chit chat, wagging chins, grins as wide as the grand, holding virtual court and bringing the people together. In this place, Harv and Jace host a special summit every week. These princes of music, these buddies and brothers, joined by spirit lights and cousins from another mother. Relations long gone, dropping in from other dimensions, whole packages of information and opinions as thick as your grandma's bannock. Ooh, no tricks, nothing but authentic connections. Brought to you by Mohawk Towing, Jocasta Designs, and Today, this poetess sits with men in congenial council, proof of balance within our governance. This auntie of words is humbled, brought into the fold as friend. I was a fan way before knowing you both in radio days when I infiltrated the waves with our Six Nations brand of music, and will do so again. Your success is our success. We spin the light skillfully, powered by technologies, but really, it is a force fueled by the people you both serve.
Bravo.
Yeah, we'll go.
That was fantastic.
You like the
awesome.
poem?
That was awesome.
It's for you.
That was riveting.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold this dear to my heart.
When you
Lovely.
said you had a poem for us, I thought it was just like a little soliloquy.
Oh,
a little
no.
thing,
It's the real.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
man.
really
that's it.
appreciate that. You really captured us.
We'll have to get a frame for it and put it up on the
Heck
wall.
yeah,
It was
heck yeah.
amazing.
That's the offering, yeah. I
Very
thought, Shub came, he did his little, his scratch for you,
Right.
and people keep gifting you things.
It's the Harv and Jace show.
We could use a good quai for the
Good.
show.
You need a hug? We got to stay 6
I
feet
could
apart.
always use a good hug.
Did you say Kwai?
A good quai.
I thought you were talking about Kwai Leonard, but then
Well, we could use one of them,
you
too.
could be talking like, what do they call that guy from the Looney Tunes there that talks like that?
Elmo Fudd.
Elmo Fudd.
Fudd. That's
You
it.
crazy wild.
Yes.
How's it going, man?
Good one.
We're on. Everyone's
Yes.
watching.
There
How
they
you
are.
guys doing?
I'm super excited.
I know.
Hey,
And
we
with
got a
us,
guest.
We have a guest
A guest host.
our first time.
Yes.
And it's nice to have another perspective.
Yes.
Janet Rogers.
Yes, hello.
Janet Marie Rogers.
Yes.
Author, Six Nations.
Yes.
Bear Clan, looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
We're
love
rocking
it.
our
Sister.
animals.
Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
it's so
yeah.
nice.
It's
It's
a-
so exciting. I'm such a fan. And so I'm like, I really am excited. I'm over the moon, excited to be here because I do watch every single time you guys
how
put out some
cool.
Yeah.
content. And sometimes you guys put out twice a week. You get extra generous
Right.
with your content. So I'm so excited.
That 1 week,
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Exactly. We put out like 7 episodes that 1 month. I couldn't believe it. We usually do 1 a week, but
my
we put out
Yeah.
almost 2 a week. Crazy,
Oh
dude.
my gosh.
Yeah, we're putting in some overtime.
But we just thought it would be so great to start having some guest hosts, different perspectives, shake it up a little bit, meet people that would come in and just add to it. We love
Yeah.
your personality. You've been a big supporter of the show, so
Right.
let's bring you in and let's just get to it.
Cool.
Yes.
I love the hat.
Yes, a Cap and Chucky's special cap.
We got that from Cam Bombery because they cater the Harv and
Yes,
Jace show.
the Cap
so
and Chucky's.
we seen the hat
corner
there, so we
store.
gotta have it, dude. We
Yeah,
gotta
man.
have it.
Some
The
merch.
bucket, yeah.
Some merch. So if you need your Cap and Chucky's hat, make sure you order one down.
Yeah,
at
get
and
down to
Chucky's.
Cap and Chucky's. Grab yourself a roast beast sandwich.
That's right, a beast.
Yes. It fuels this beast.
You're beastly.
Yes.
Did you guys hear? This is nuts, dude. The Six Nations Arrows are leaving the Ontario Lacrosse Association.
I read that.
It's insane.
Like,
Is it a money thing?
No,
I
it's
don't
not a
know what
money
it-
thing. It's a new league thing. Jake Henhock, the president of the Arrows, announced suddenly that they're leaving the OLA to start a new league.
for a TLL.
Right,
Yeah.
a totally new league, and they figure it'll be like a league a little bit higher than the Junior A level because they want it to be like professional players, professional teams that are making players better to get to the NLL, right?
Right.
Which is currently the OLA doesn't play with NLL rules, right? They play with their own rules. So they're saying that, you know, like they kind of outgrew the league. And isn't this is like huge news?
It's huge because like they'll no longer be playing for a Minto Cup is what it stated, and the Minto Cup is huge in junior lacrosse. Like that's the pinnacle in junior lacrosse. If you're gonna win something, you want to win a Minto Cup.
What is the Minto and Man Cup? What is that?
The men is like the senior.
The men.
Like
21
Minto
and
is
up,
like
right?
the junior age.
Yep, 21 and down, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But the new league's going to be called simply Dewa Ronto, which is the indigenous word for lacrosse.
Yeah.
So that's what the league will be called. So there'll be a new title. It won't be the Minto Cup, obviously. There'll be something else.
Right.
But they're expecting that like other elite teams are going to jump ship with them and join that league. So it'll become like this super league of like only the best of the best
Which would
junior
be
players.
cool, but it's hard to say because like they've been doing so well in Ontario, the way they've been going, you know. Like I know the competition's not there some years, but every other year.
Do you think that's a COVID thing?
It could
No, I
be,
just think
but
it's an
I think it's
evolution thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like to me like they're trying to evolve, like they've been doing this same thing since the 80s, 1980, right? So that's a lot of years to be doing the junior A thing, right? So they just feel like it's time to progress.
Right.
And move to like this new league, which would like showcase people and get them ready for the NLL, right? Which currently the junior A doesn't do, right?
Yeah, it doesn't prep them for NLL style play,
Right.
Or rules.
And the competition, right? Like teams, they're just blown. It doesn't work for the Arrows if they're beating teams 20-3 because their franchise isn't set up like the Arrows is, right? So they want to play other competition that's in their league, so they get, you know what I mean, better and better.
Top-notch talent.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Better contracts for the players.
That's it. Or just better athletes altogether.
Just better
you know?
lacrosse, hopefully, in the end.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, I just thought that was shocking. That's huge news for
very
Six
shocking.
Nations.
Like I read a tweet from a friend of the show, Cody Jameson, actually, that he's not very pleased with the situation himself. Like he's going to do everything in his power to make sure the Arrows stay down here in the OLA because he wanted to coach them to a Minto Cup. So we'll see what happens. That's just an unfolding story.
It's crazy. It's just shocking. All the lacrosse players, I mean, it's nuts. And we officially have Kamala Harris is in as Vice President of the United States of America for the first time in history. Have a female.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And an African American woman too, right?
History
was made.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of really cool. And she's also Asian American too. So that's just like amazing. And
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, how like, you know, in terms of character and hitting all the right boxes and things like that, I'm not really sure what her politics are like. I think, though, as a celebrity and as, you know, what she's representing as a woman, as a person of color, good on them.
Right.
Good on for U.S. politics. We'll see what kind of changes that results in.
Right.
But we'll see, again, Biden. He's not looking healthy, in my opinion. It's like, I'm wondering how he's really going to fare throughout this whole, you know, series of changes and transmissions and things through their governance, because I think the campaign took a lot out of him.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, should something happen to good old Joe, then we're going to see Camilla kind of like slide into that position of power, like the most powerful, supposedly the most powerful country in the world. So we'll see. I don't know what her politics are like, though.
Yeah.
You know?
It seems like they've been doing really well together. They've been working well together. Biden's been signing executive orders like crazy since he started. So
just undoing some of the stuff that Trump did,
right? And people aren't very happy in Canada about the pipeline. Did you hear people are getting upset about that now? But that's tough bananas, man.
That's
you don't need those pipelines,
tough titty,
dude.
said the kitty.
Yeah.
Because the milk is all gone.
Right? It's crazy. And did you also see that, like, Canada's like craziness right now? Like, even the governor general, right? We're talking about all the stuff that's going on. Resigned. Like, it's crazy. And the governor general is the one that's like Indigenous ally.
The liaison between
Queen,
us and the Queen.
Right?
It's almost fitting that she's kind of got this like sour attitude, you know, representing the Queen. I don't know. I just think that this person is, they didn't vet her.
Yeah,
is what I'm hearing. Like, you know, Justin Trudeau is just going, yeah, okay, you want to be Governor General? Okay, come on in.
Right.
You know, again, checking the boxes, but not really checking.
Female, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess he was pretty abusive to her staff. I guess he was pretty like,
that's horrible.
Pretty like a tyrant, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's good that
Maybe
these
she got
kinds of
power
things,
tripping.
Yeah, it's good that these things are coming out, right? And I love every story that comes out, Indigenous people have our perspective, and that's why we do this show, to kind of get that perspective out there too with all the news, right? And then, so I seen some people talking about like maybe Murray Sinclair moving into that governor general. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
Tantu Cardinal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Buffy St. Marie.
That would
Buffy
be
St. Marie.
As Governor
She'd be
General.
a great ambassador.
You know, the Queen wouldn't want an Indigenous
No.
person there, because then that would force them to face themselves in the mirror, and a lot of people don't like it when you hold the mirror up to them,
That's right.
You know,
Especially
know.
them royals.
the
Queen
royals.
Liz. She's hanging in there by a thread.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Those royals, they live to be old, dude.
They
like
do.
the king's like really old. He
Yeah.
just retired. He's like
That blue blood,
getting close to 90.
So strong.
Yeah.
Crazy. A French man has designed a prototype, which this is really cool, a yacht that would be 70% self-sufficient, because you drive it along the coast with all the like waste and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It picks up waste and plastic from the ocean, transfers it to this burning station that turns it into fuel for that yacht.
Oh, wow.
That's a brilliant idea. Like
that insane?
he needs to not just make one yacht, he needs to make several ships.
Right.
That's right.
And
yeah.
just set them all a sail.
Right, and I think that's what it's going to be for like the conscious people out there that are wondering about the seas, because the waters
Yeah.
are filled up with garbage.
The
and
water
pollution.
could be the next frontier. You
Right,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like we get off this land because it's so polluted and you
Yeah.
have to go into the water. It sounds very sci-fi. It sounds like Waterworld.
Right, it's
Yeah.
insane. Like
Exactly.
we talked with Autumn Peltier, the importance
Oh,
of water. So like
Right.
cleaning the oceans, getting that pollution out of there, and then I seen other like inventions where they can turn like really polluted water and make it like filtered and clean again.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You know, which is like, so there's a lot of really cool stuff going
Yeah.
on right now. So
Amazing.
Water
Hopefully-
is life.
water
yes.
is life.
You say, how do you say it?
Mini Wachoni.
There
Mini
we go.
with Joni.
Mini with Joni.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's it.
Researchers are fearing that the famous and our most beloved monarch butterfly are going extinct.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You know the beautiful like one you think of when you're in Canada, the
Yeah.
orange and black, vibrant color of a monarch
Yeah.
butterfly. It's like it's been such a part of my psyche since I was a kid that to think that it would be gone would be
Right.
insane.
Like it's rare to see them nowadays, really. Too,
Right.
if you think about it, like I think I might have seen 3 or 4
Right.
this past summer.
They said it literally dropped from millions in the 80s to literally 2,000 this year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
2,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's drastic.
That's
That is,
drastic.
yeah.
That's where they're all supposed to come together and mate and
right.
but 2,000? Come on, man.
Wow.
And they said it's just from lack of trees, lack of like
Oh, yeah.
encroaching cities,
Monoculture.
Right.
Yeah, mono.
development.
Yeah, the lack of
Commercialism.
their natural habitat, right?
That's right.
Like what we talk about with Skylar. I love what he said. I said, you know, do we want this land for indigenous homes and stuff? He's like, we don't want the land like to cover it in asphalt.
Right.
And that's I've never heard that anymore. Like
Yeah.
that's a great thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to cover everything in asphalt and
Right.
and that's what people think. The whole world
Preserve
can
some
be covered in
nature.
asphalt.
Exactly, yeah.
Come on, man. How are we going to grow anything or get air or get anything back? And so yeah, that's just crazy. But I hope that something can do that, turn that around. I love monarch butterflies. I don't know what we can do about that kind of stuff, man.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Like even if you had them in captivity, tried to breed them, you
Right.
know, like is that
like
gonna
who
work?
knows, right? Okay, but data shows that 1.2 million people, and we kind of suspected this, traveled over the holidays between December 23rd and the 30th.
Right. Nobody listens.
And it was right before everything went up to 4,000 or 5,000 cases a day, was it not?
Yes.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Well, I see it like recently. The news is saying that numbers are starting to slowly
Right. What
get down again. They're still not.
they are
nice
getting below
at all,
2,000
but
for the
yeah.
first time since December 15th, but they're worried now about March break and these same million people taking off. Like,
Right.
and they said that the study actually says it's young people living in urban areas because they can track who's buying tickets and who's traveling to where. Right, obviously have to do that. Canadians from wealthy areas. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane. They just think they don't have to follow the rules and they can still
Exactly.
go to the
Yeah.
Bahamas and still go to Paris and just
Right.
like.
Maybe think only the poor or the whatever can catch COVID.
It reminds me of that couple that just went to Nunavut. Did you guys see this?
No.
They actually, this guy, he was a CEO of these major companies.
Okay,
Took
yes.
his wife to the
Out in
Nunavut.
BC.
Yeah.
Weren't they casino related? This guy
Yeah,
was
he
in
was
the
from the
casino.
OLG
Casino
or something.
CEO. He flew out there with his wife, claimed that they were workers in Nunavut or
Yes.
in the Arctic, and the doctors
they
give
could
them
get
their
vaccinated.
give them their vaccine. They snuck out. But then the healthcare workers were thinking, like, where'd those two go that were workers, right? And they're like, no, they don't work here. And then So I guess they're in big trouble now,
That's
man.
bad. Harv, let's do the rattle of shame.
Yeah.
Rattle of
Give him
shame.
a shot.
Oh,
Rattle of shame.
that is awful.
It's bad.
That's
like, what a
ace.
thought. And that just shows you, it ties in with those guys traveling. It's that money. It just gives you this entitlement.
Yeah.
And they just feel like they're above everything, and they feel like they don't have to follow the rules because they can pay their way out of it.
Yeah.
Because the fines they give this guy was ridiculous. He's rich, and I think it was like $80 fine or something.
Yeah.
Like
He
that.
spends that in his sleep.
Right.
It's crazy.
$80. Oh my God.
And that's not going to do
He
anything.
probably
for-
paid more than that for his COVID test or his vaccination he got.
But imagine that he put that whole community at risk. They are on lockdown. No one can come in or out. They're protecting their elders. And then we got 2 strangers coming in and out without telling anybody. They could have had COVID. They could have caused some
Right.
serious damage.
Remind you of anything? Hello, colonization?
Right? Isn't that nuts?
Entitlement even too.
That's
If that broke
exactly
out
what-
again, that would be like, I just think it was just really reckless.
That's
And
appalling.
Yeah.
just to think like, oh, I'm that important and I'm that rich. It just kind of irks me,
Yeah.
you know. This kind of sucks too, or good if you like it. Japan is close to canceling the 2020 Summer Olympics due to COVID.
This
It kind of sucks because like I'm a big sporting fan, whatever kind of sport it is.
I'm gonna
I
have
just-
breakdancing and all that added
Yeah,
this year
we
and
were gonna-
everything.
Oh
We're
my
gonna-
God, were they?
Yeah, oh
my
yeah.
God.
We're gonna enter a team.
Oh my
That's
God.
right. We were gonna go try out,
Yeah.
even if we came in last.
The Six
That's
Nations
right.
B-boy team.
Iroquois.
Team Iroquois.
Right? Team Iroquois. It would be me and Harv standing
Oh
there.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a shame that they're not bringing that online like every other sport, like hockey and football
True.
and everything like that.
Right.
But I have a feeling that because there's so much travel involved
Right.
in hosting Olympics, it's a global event
Right,
and
it's like
everything.
160
Yeah, it's a
teams,
global
right?
thing, right?
160
Whereas-
teams all over the world come to
Yeah.
one spot.
Yeah.
And that might not exactly what they don't want right now.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
I want everyone to stay home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in Ontario, they just extended our lockdown another 2
Another
weeks.
2
Did
weeks.
they
yeah.
till
Yep,
when?
Yep. Till
To
February
February
8th or
8th.
9th.
Oh,
yeah.
Eighth or
okay.
9th, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
And they said that's just being conservative too, right? And they also are messing with the flying. They don't want no one flying after this
Right.
data came out. 1 million people went for Christmas. Like, come on.
I'm
Then-
surprised
but
they're
then
letting
they-
people still do that.
Exactly.
Like,
The
why would
airlines
they?
need to comply.
Right.
You know,
But they're trying to make money.
I
And they
know.
won't even give remember the refunds for people who
Right.
canceled either? They're
Yeah.
like making mad money during the
man.
COVID, man. And they're still crying poor. It is on them to make sure that they're keeping everyone safe. It's not just like, let's keep our business thriving. Like that should
Right.
be way, way low.
I'm
on
sure
the-
there's corporate bailouts for them down the road.
Right.
There
But they
was
should be
for
thinking about
everybody
people
else.
first,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh.
People, not
Yeah.
the dollar.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the day and age we're in, it's
Right.
it's other way around.
Crazy.
Totally.
I can't get my hair cut. I have COVID hair, as you can see, because I'm doing the rules and all the hair salons and everything are down.
Right.
But a hair salon has gotten creative during the lockdown to keep their business up and running. She turned her salon into a set, like the Harv and Jace show.
Awesome.
To keep during the COVID rules, people with filming can continue their work and stuff as long as they do it safely. So they film their customers now, screen them. And then they have to be allowed, sign something to say that I'm allowed to be on your YouTube show or whatever the heck it is.
Awesome.
For a haircut.
Crazy?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So she's open and cutting people's hair, but they're just a part of the show, right? They're banter and so that's a great
Maybe we
idea.
should start doing haircuts
I
on the
know,
show.
we could make more money.
We could make money, and we could also be servicing
I don't know
some
if I could
people.
cut
in the-
hair, dude.
in the
I
community.
invested in some clippers
Right.
when COVID hit. So I invested in some clippers. I have no idea what's going on back here.
Right.
Though, because you can't really
Right.
get that. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
trying to look fresh.
I can't even. My hair used to grow really fast when I was younger, but now it stalls, and it's just annoying. So my hair will get I'll look like a little monkey, and then it'll just stall there.
It doesn't like the hat.
Yeah, that probably doesn't like the hat.
Yeah,
I
it's
might
being
need to-
restricted.
Captain
That's right.
Chucky's hat.
It's tired of
COVID
restrictions
restriction.
too.
That's right. It's rebelling.
But that's a cool idea. I thought that was cool. They're thinking outside the box, and so far they have not gotten in trouble. They're not breaking
Yeah.
any rules, right?
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, and it
Keeping the
actually
business going.
it led to another salon doing the same thing. So people are starting to find those loopholes.
Right. I wonder if a tattoo parlor could get away with doing that.
I'm not sure.
Because I could use a tattoo out there.
As
Anybody?
long as it was a tattoo show with cameras and lights,
That's
think
right.
you can go, man.
I wonder
That's
if
right.
because that would make a wonderful reality show. I think people sitting down to get their haircut because
Definitely.
the gossip,
Yeah, and yeah.
the gossip that you
Right.
get when you're in the
Oh,
hair
yeah.
salon. Oh my God.
Especially
personalities,
they give
too.
them
I would tune in.
surprise haircuts too, right? Like
Ay.
they don't know what haircut they're getting.
Right.
Right.
They're just sitting
Right.
down
But
to
the
get a haircut.
personalities, every single person that would come in, the different personalities would be wild.
Totally.
Right. Like
you
a
get some
barbershop
wild
is a
people, I
hangout,
imagine, right? German researchers have enabled. This is one of the coolest stories ever because it just kind of like helps me think of like the future and stuff like that. But they've enabled mice that were paralyzed after spinal cord injuries to walk again. The reason people become paralyzed is because like the not all of the nerve fibers that carry information between muscles in the brain, they're not able to grow back, so that's why you're paralyzed.
Oh, wow.
So what they're figuring out is this protein can go in there and send those signals, help them regrow, but get those signals from your brain to your back again and get those nerves, get that signal to those nerves to wake up, and then you could walk again.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Like hopefully that can work for humans.
Right.
Like,
They're doing it. It's all on mice now, and it's working every time. And they're getting really close to doing moving up to which is pigs, and then dogs, and then primates. So they said it's a lot of years of study still, but still, man. I mean, just to know that people are out there working on this stuff. Remember we talked about Arnold Anderson was his name?
Yes, the Tuscarora.
Yeah,
guy
who worked with Einstein.
Worked with the atom bomb.
Oh, wow.
And the Manhattan
cool.
Project.
Oh, wow.
From 6 Nations.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing? Oh,
It's
I
like
just love
stuff that,
researchers,
you know,
man.
it's not really out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like as it turns out, it's my brother-in-law's uncle.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm like,
wow.
what the
I
heck?
just love people who use their mind for good, you know, like this is good work. Like what if that, like how many people are paralyzed and can't walk?
Yeah.
And they could get this treatment and be walking.
Yeah.
Come on,
Science, stem cell
Amazing.
research, all of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so good.
Okay, this one's kind of like some fraudy issues because everyone right now is going through obviously financial strain and stress. And if you read right now, there's huge studies about mental health and opiate addiction that's rising like seriously during COVID because everyone's isolated and stuck. But these guys in Oshawa, they got charged after lying about their 2 kids, telling people in a church that they had serious medical issues, saying one of their kids had cancer and one was dying. And they got frauded these guys out of like $75,000.
Oh, man. What a dirtbag move.
Yeah.
Using their kids.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
using anybody's ailment or sickness like
But
falsely like that is...
Yeah. And these are church people?
No, they were scamming church people.
I
Yeah,
see, I
so
see.
they pretended to be a part of the congregation. And what's even sicker is that it's one thing to just say it and don't see the kids, but to parade your kids in as cancerous and
Right.
Yeah.
so like it was insane.
Man.
Like I didn't even really want to talk about it, but I just said like this is too like
Well,
weird not to
people
talk
like that
about.
need to be exposed.
They got to be exposed and say like this is creepy, dude.
Yeah.
All you fraudsters out there, man, that are thinking of all these little side things to make money off people who like using their good like nature against them.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
against that, dude. I really am.
Yeah,
you know?
using kindness as a weakness or like that and taking
Like that's
advantage of
scumbaggy,
it.
man.
It is, yeah.
Like give that up. Ease
Yeah.
up.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Get your own
Karma.
money.
Hello.
Get your own money.
Yeah.
This is really cool. I've been watching these stories for a long time, but I never really reported on it because I didn't think it was that serious. But now it's becoming like really rampant, like tow truck wars. And have you been hearing about these things in
Yeah.
Toronto?
Yeah.
It's getting out of hand, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like
It's
some
mafioso
shootings and
stuff.
stuff. going
Shootings
on.
right
crazy.
now, almost every day. I open the paper and like more tow truck drivers are getting shot at. Their trucks are getting set on fire right in their homes, and it's
Sounds
crazy.
like lobster fisheries.
Right.
Like
But-
burning each other's stuff up.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But then the cops are in on it.
Yep.
Because they're like referencing, they're making suggestions as to what companies to use and things like
Definitely.
this. It's like, what?
And
What have
they're-
they got to gain from that?
And they're giving these guys scanners so they can hear the crashes right away and stuff
Right.
like that. And I guess they're getting
staging
payoffs.
fake accidents too.
Yep. And
Rattle and
staging
shake.
Staging
accidents
fake accidents.
for up to like for fraud for the insurance,
Yeah,
right? They
yeah,
want the
for
insurance
insurance
money.
frauds.
Oh my
Crazy.
God.
Oh my God.
I just can't believe it. I think they said that
Scammers everywhere. Shysters, I tell you.
Yeah, man.
Shysters.
man.
Yeah.
the shysters. I don't know. It's just crazy. I just think that like that competition, if it's that crazy where you got to burn things up and stuff, I think you need to find a new business,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shooting at people? Come on now.
It could be like gangs though, and
Yeah.
you know how they try to launder money through things, like maybe tow truck drivers.
Organized
It's a front
crime.
for something
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
Right.
like and then saying, "Oh, you're messing with us, we'll mess with you." Like,
Right.
like if you get in an accident, they want it to be quick. So those tow truck drivers
Oh,
show
right.
up right away and get you
That's
off
true.
there. They don't care about anything else. That's
Right.
their bottom line. Be safest. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. Someone working in a value village in Vancouver was going through the donated items when he discovered a yellow bag full of $85,000 in cash.
Man.
Donate it. Oh my God. Like, who needs that much cash? And why are you carrying that around?
And why did you forget where you left
Right.
it?
Yeah,
how did
Why
it end up at Value
end up
Village?
Value Village?
It's like they
Oh
got
my
their
God.
yard sale stuff and they put it in the car, get the money when for some reason put it on the box or something
Yeah.
and just forgot.
Oh my gosh.
Or maybe the wife took the car and said, "Oh, I'm dumping this off."
Wow. Wow.
I just thought that was nuts that somebody would discover that money and fess up.
Right.
When, like, you would think
Wow.
they have an opportunity to take that bag and just kind of
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if they're an
"Oh,
employee at Value
You're in
Village.
there. I mean, that's one of the precious moments of life. You face that
Right.
moral dilemma.
That's character.
What would you do, Jace? What would you do, Harv?
Right.
If you're
I'd have a few days off of work if I was
85K.
working at Value Village.
No, but you got to think about it. Think about the guy who's working there doing that.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
making minimum wage. Who knows what his circumstances
Yeah.
are? And a lot of the people that work at those thrift stores, they're like drug addicts, recovering drug addicts and stuff. Like they
Yeah,
get like.
just getting back on their feet.
Right.
So like kudos to this guy.
Yeah.
He's
Good on
actually-
his honesty.
He's actually trying to be a better person,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And I can't honestly tell you what I would do because 85 grand is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I heard in the article that they were able to find out who made that donation
Right.
and get the money back to the people. But this person went to the cops first. Now, I don't know if I would do that step,
Right.
to be honest with
Yeah,
you, but I
yeah,
would
yeah.
try to find the person who made that donation. But
Amazing.
Yeah.
or I would just think, wow, thanks God.
Right.
You know,
And-
Yeah.
And if
Harv,
somebody
Thanks,
you
creator.
finally got me back.
if somebody gave me 85 grand back, like they had lost it,
Oh,
dude,
yeah. Oh,
I'd give
yeah.
them at least 5 grand.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you're down
There's got to be
85
at
or-
least some kind of reward there
Absolutely,
involved.
yeah.
I'm sure that person working there, even $500 would change, help them out a lot.
85K
Oh,
is
yeah.
down payment on a house?
Right? Crazy.
Oh, my God.
So good on them. Like, good stories, man.
Yeah.
Good character. I love that.
Yes.
A man in New York, Stephen Thomas, is coming to terms that he may never see his money again. This is awful. He forgot the password to a code encrypted hard drive, which allows him access to $220 million in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, man.
I wonder if he tried boobs. Or 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just try all ones.
all the what? Try
All
0, 0,
zeros.
0, 0.
The funny thing about that is that hard drive is actually so encoded that you only get 10 tries. And he's already did it 8 tries. So he's tried 8 of his top things.
Oh my God, he should hire a mathematician.
Right?
For the odds.
2 left.
Oh
He's
my
got 2 chances left. And
And
that
then-
it'll erase that data forever. All that would be gone. $220 million.
Bitcoin,
What
is
a
that like what is that exchange? Is it like the same
cryptocurrency.
It's the same amount of money, like
It's supposed to be the same as
Like
regular
American
dollar
money.
amount, right?
Yep, US dollars.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's online sales, right?
Okay.
Amazon, iTunes.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
all
if you got
online
so much
stuff.
million, he should just start purchasing as
But he
much
can't get
as
to
he
his
can.
he can't get into
Can't
his
access
account.
get the
money.
account,
Right.
though.
No, that's where he does all his buying and selling from
he
inside the
could
account.
go under hypnosis to retrieve.
That's a really good
There we
idea.
go.
There we go.
There we
And
go.
recover it.
Who's the guy? I'm gonna email that to him.
But then
Yeah.
the guy who's puts him under gets the code,
Oh!
never brings you
man.
out. This is a good book.
Oh my
Next
goodness.
week on the Harv and Jay show.
Another scammer.
Yeah,
I can hypnotize you.
yeah. Next week on the Harv and Jay show.
Now I'm a hypnotist.
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 There it is.
That's awesome. See, you got to be always thinking. You got to be thinking like the
Yes.
criminals. You know what I mean?
Always got to have a knack.
You got it. That's right. Las Vegas Millionaire talking about a lot of money tonight.
Yeah, really.
Money is coming.
Yeah,
We
hopefully it's
stop.
Your
yeah.
hands.
We stop.
Yeah. A Las Vegas millionaire who has previously funded UFO research is offering $500,000 to prove there is life after death. The guy's name is Robert Bigelow, announced the contest, and it is open to those working in the field of neurology and psychology. The deadline, August 1st to submit. So if you're one of those big smarty pantses,
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see who comes forward with some
And how would you
any
prove that?
findings or
Proof, yeah.
documents.
how would you prove that life after
Well,
death?
that's
Like
the
what Snipe
thing.
does. We were
Yeah.
talking about
Snipe, yeah.
Snipe.
Like
Yeah.
you could show that kind of stuff, or like people who have said they've flatlined and like come back to
Right.
life. Like what
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
stories where people flatline and they said they're actually hovering above their body.
Yeah.
They can see
I've
everything,
heard stories
hear
of like
everything.
that
There's a
lot.
thing on Netflix, a series on Netflix right now called Surviving Death that talks exactly
Wow.
about that and all these people who have near-death experiences
Right.
and what they see and hear and experience, and then the other people that go into mediumship where they're like accessing these dead people through their
Wow.
bodies, and
Freaky.
it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But UFOs, I mean, that could be a whole show for you guys.
Right.
Have you seen a UFO?
Oh, I haven't seen a UFO.
Have you?
I have, I think.
Tell us about it.
I actually was about, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old, and I was just getting home from a lacrosse game. Just getting dropped off at home, and as we were pulling in the laneway at my like grandma's and grandpa's where I was staying, above the tree line in the bush, there was like this orange light kind of hovering. And we all seen it as I was getting dropped off, and as we were all taking notice of it, like it was perfectly round. It wasn't a balloon or nothing. Like, and this is well before these Chinese
Satellites and
lanterns
things.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So it was like floating above the trees, and then it just shot directly straight up in the sky,
Oh,
like
weird.
fast.
Wow.
And like, whoa, what was that? And then
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
this,
I
is this around
saw
the
it.
time you were doing a lot of the acid? And
He was a boy.
no, this was just prior,
I crashed my hat.
just prior.
Just prior.
I saw one. I had a UFO experience when I was camping one time, not too far from here.
Okay.
And I was like partying pretty hard
Yeah.
at the time, and but it was like without a doubt a UFO.
Crazy.
Bright light in the sky. It was like about
Wow.
5 p.m. It was summertime, of course, camping. And I couldn't ignore this light. And I stared at it for a while, and then eventually it just went off into the
Wow.
distance like that, and I went, UFO.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Remember we had the crop circles down on like first line or second line there by the
Yeah, down New.
That was
in
freaky.
New Credit.
yeah.
Recently?
No, this was like
Oh,
20
I
years
heard-
ago
oh, I
or
heard
something
about
like
that.
that.
Yeah, I
and,
heard
like,
about those crop
all the
circles, yeah.
tourists and stuff were here.
Yeah.
And then someone is just messing around up
On
here
six
on
line.
six
Yeah.
line. They got one there.
That
But
was
That's pretty
cool.
creative.
it's fooling people, but he's doing it just for fun, like a golf. He does a golf
Right.
thing there, so it's
Amazing.
like
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
Fascinating stuff.
Fascinating stuff.
Fascinating.
And it's cool. It's what it's called is the spice of life, right? Like all these interesting things, whether they're true or not, they're just fun to think about. The galaxy, the technology, the robots, what can
Right.
happen, all this stuff.
Sci-fi.
It's the
Yeah,
spice
man.
of life, baby.
Yeah, man, yeah.
What if? That's what makes us grow and invent things, isn't it?
Right.
2020 was the year of anything could happen,
That's right.
man, and
We've
it
seen
sure
it.
did.
It
Yeah.
did happen,
It
yeah.
sure did, yeah.
That's amazing. Elon Musk is offering $100 million for the best carbon capture technology, which would capture carbon dioxide emissions. It's crazy, dude. This is after the International Energy Agency announced it would need the technology to meet the net zero emissions targets. They would need that technology, like a good carbon capture.
Yeah.
And he believes that they could get to like zero emissions with these technologies.
He's like so advanced with all the stuff he's doing, Elon Musk.
Right.
Like I think he's capable of doing it. With
But
the
he's a
money
big
and
believer
stuff
in
he's doing.
like the warming of the world, like global climate. So like,
Yeah.
he said, remember he said half of his money was going to go to like stuff like
Helping
that.
the Earth, and the other half was going towards
space.
Space.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and he's like the richest man in the world, right? So I just think this is kind of crazy. He started out with PayPal. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's how he made his money.
Yeah, and he
right?
sold,
wow.
he was a co-founder of PayPal.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Sold PayPal.
I did not know that until
Wow.
recently.
And then now he's got SpaceX, Starlink, Tesla, which is worth, as
Yeah.
we found out, $700 billion, Tesla.
And Neuralink.
Neuralink, yep, a startup that is developing ultra-high bandwidth brain-machine interfaces that would connect the human brain to computers.
Which is crazy.
I think we're on wireless already. I think we're operating on wireless already. But what I like about these stories is that there's private people who are using their privately earned
You know it.
tons of money to fund these good causes.
Right, he's almost
And
$1 trillion.
And it's not government. This is like private people.
Right, and the government can't stop
Interesting.
him, can't
Right.
do anything.
Exactly.
And that's why he's doing the satellites. He's doing things that the government should be doing to take care of their people, but
Exactly.
they're not.
Right.
Crazy. So
Right.
good on Elon.
Yeah, man.
He kind of looks like an alien in the first place.
Yeah,
He doesn't seem like he just
he's
came
not
out of
from
nowhere.
this world, maybe.
We never
Oh,
seen
maybe
him.
he is.
We
He's
never
not
seen him
from this
grow up.
world, yeah.
He just came out of nowhere, and all of a
Oh.
sudden it's Elon Musk. Come
Right.
on now.
Yeah.
Alien.
PayPal. I need
Hello.
money. I need.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. We'll have to dig into that, Harv.
It's like,
Yes.
Let's take a blood test from that guy.
A new study has reported the benefits of kids growing up with their grandparents, and you probably can attest to this.
Oh,
Do you have
yes.
any grandkids?
No.
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 You do.
I do. Two.
And
Oh.
when I was reading this story, I knew it because I could think of my mom, like all my brothers and sisters who they've helped. And but this is really cool. I wanted to talk about this because I just think it's so important.
Yeah.
And I know indigenous people do this a lot too. And they said that 40% of people, only 40% allow their grandparents to be in their kids' life. Like,
Which is weird.
That's really small.
That is,
Right?
Why is that?
But this awesome study said that the more involved the grandparents are, they've tested 1,500 kids for this and discovered that grandparents could help children go through an emotional crisis, and their support is so vital to their growing. The study also found that the grandparents help children's problem-solving skills and offer important counsel on their future.
Sure.
Despite the benefits, only 1 in 3 take care of the grandkids. And like I said, only 40% are involved in their grandkids'
I wonder if
life.
that's because the breakdown of the family.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe
Right?
like people.
A lot of people
moving
don't get
away,
along with their mom and dad, right?
Right.
And they use their kids,
Right.
to kind of like
Leverage.
perpetuate
Right.
that,
Yeah.
that anger or whatever,
My
right?
grandparents are vital. Like I don't know where I would be in life without my grandparents. Like
Yeah.
they raised me.
And grandparents are a little more loving than they are like as parents. Like
Yeah.
the parents
They're more
are really
settled
tough,
down and
right?
yeah.
They're mature.
Yeah, exactly.
And they realize that love's the way. When they were young, it's like the
Yeah. Discipline.
disciplinarian
Yeah.
type stuff. Yeah. So this is really cool. The most interesting part is that they discovered that closeness with your grandparents was not enough. Grandparents who helped raise the kids had a positive impact on their grandchildren, like a link between grandparents and their adult well-being. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So that's great to know if you're a parent, like.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
And if you need a babysitter, like the grandparents, I know they're always willing to do it, man. You know, they hang out with their grandkids. And I think they love it too because then they can spoil them and get the candy in them and then send them home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Sure.
And this one I love. The study also shows that the grandparents who take care of their grandkids live longer,
Right.
Which is beautiful.
Yes.
And
And
that's
who
like
doesn't want to have a nice long
karmic
life?
reward. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like when you get older, it just gives you this new purpose.
circle of
you know.
life.
Yeah. You'll want to see those grandchildren
Yeah.
grow and do things.
I had a really special relationship with my grandparents, all my grandparents, on my Martin side and my Paula side, and all like individually with all 4 of them too. I get to know what it was. I understood that I needed a personal relationship with each of them, like just me and them, not me and my family setting or
Right.
So I kind of always made a point growing up to go sit with them just one-on-one and get to know them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was glad I did that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. True crime stories are becoming very popular right now. Like all these crazy shows coming out right now. And there's 2 new series right on Netflix and Crave. One's called Night Stalker about Richard Ramirez, the serial killer in LA from the 80s. And it's crazy. Did you guys see these shows?
Richard Ramirez,
I'm familiar.
he was the family man. He had like lots of kids.
I'm not really
And
sure.
and he killed a lot of women, like prostitutes.
No, he killed everybody. He killed everyone. Men,
okay.
women, everything. It's just
Wow.
like, it seemed like no rhyme or reason.
Wow.
It was insane. It's crazy. Do you like these kinds of shows?
I'll watch them every now and then, yeah.
Right?
Like criminal stuff.
I used to be really fascinated with Jack the Ripper when I was growing up. The Jack the Ripper stories, and because they couldn't find out who he was, and they say, "Oh, we found out who it was," and then there'd be a book about this guy, and then it would turn out he wasn't, and then it'd be somebody else. I don't know. They still haven't found out who that Jack the Ripper
No, they
is.
haven't.
Isn't that nuts?
That is crazy. It's still unsolved to this day.
Unsolved. And there's a show on Crave called "I'll Be Gone in the Dark" about the Golden State Killer. And now there's a new series being made, a 6-part series called Helter Skelter, an American myth about Charlie Manson.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that
Charlie
nuts?
Manson
People are
is fascinating.
Fascinated with murdering people right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
or that the criminal mind, it's kind of taken over.
Like I'll probably watch the Charlie Manson one because
Right.
he's fascinating.
Did you watch the Once Upon a Time in the Tortoro? What's his name? Quentin Tarantino movie.
Tarantino's movie, yeah.
Once Upon a Time in
Yes, I did
Hollywood.
watch that one, yeah.
I couldn't watch it to the end.
That
I
was
was
a
in the
cool-
theater.
that was a
and I
cool,
watched
It kind of tied in the Marilyn Manson thing a
Yeah.
Oh,
bit there, right? Right
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the
Charlie
the-
Manson.
Charlie Manson. Yeah, I keep saying Marilyn Manson every time we talk about this guy. But thanks, Arv. Charlie Manson. They kind of tie that in, right? Right as the Sharon Tate murders and stuff.
It just goes a different route
Freaky.
instead of them going to the.
And then I
Sharon
heard he
Tate
made like a
house.
fictitious ending to the real story
Yeah.
of that. So it wasn't like all the horror.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
actually, Charlie Manson actually got his ass beat.
Crazy.
That's what I heard in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And Tarantino's talking about doing a spin-off of that movie for a TV series. So that would
that'd
be
be
really,
cool.
really cool.
That'd
Yeah,
probably
because
Maybe
he
this
said
is
he was
it.
only going to make so many movies in his career, right?
But he didn't say anything about TV,
That's
right?
true.
Right.
Yeah.
He could do all these. Oh, TV
Yeah.
can go on for
Forever. Ever.
A new Fraser report study conducted by Tom Flanagan says that money set aside for Indigenous people has failed at improving the conditions on reserve, and a big reason is that the money never makes it to the reserve, as it is gobbled up by administrative, civil servants, and consultants.
I believe that.
Rattle of shame.
Oh, isn't that awful? We knew this. I knew this. You know, I get to hear all these people online and all these people talking about, oh, we give them X amount of dollars, but they mismanage it, and then they got to fire their chief. And I'm like, come on, dude. It's not making it here, man.
Yeah.
Those lawyers that are signing that paper for that $40 million that they give this reserve,
Right.
$40 million ain't making it there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and they overpay for everything. So if they say, I'm serious, it could be this mug. This mug could be $200,000 item line in those lawyers' fees.
Right.
And there's nothing you could do about it. Like,
Yep.
it's insane when you look at those itemized things.
Yep. The way that we vote for chiefs, why don't we vote for accountants?
Right?
Yeah. And that's exactly what
Like, I
these
mean, at
band
least
council
have
employees
five-
should be, is
yeah,
just
five
accountants and
accountants, man.
administrators.
Yeah.
That's what I always felt like Six Nations should do. Like our accountants that go out there and they're the huge accountants, say they work for these big banks and stuff like that. How come Six Nations ain't recruiting them and say, come do that for us?
Yeah.
You know, like we need that kind of
Yeah.
stuff because money is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And not just anyone knows money either. You have to be in the business. Like
Yeah.
the way 25 years to learn music, to learn construction, it's the same way in accounting. You can't just, people are in charge of it on reserves who have no idea even how to manage their own little
Right.
That's what I-
$2,000
yeah.
budget, you know what I mean, for
Yeah.
their household, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? How are we going to expect them to run the
A nation.
$90 million by Six Nations, you know?
true.
So,
Yeah.
like, they're not really educated for that stuff, dude. And we need those accountants to come home and educate us.
Experts.
Right.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yes.
And then put that money where it properly belongs.
And
you
so
know?
we could see spreadsheets where every penny, then the Six Nations could look at it and we could say, oh, cool, this is what's
Yeah.
happening, right? We shouldn't be spending this much here. We should be spending more here. That's
Right.
what transparency is, people.
Exactly.
And that's what we need.
More of.
That's right. So yeah, that's crazy. He's just kind of proven what we've already all known. He figures, and I don't really agree with this. The report, Flanagan argues that the only way to improve is for infrastructure, roads, power lines, pipelines for water, gas, development of the natural resources, which would benefit Canada and pay for the projects. And crazy. I know these northern reserves wouldn't want that.
Yeah,
They
I
won't
mean,
want. They won't want roads and hydro lines up there.
why do any Native communities have to consider Canada?
Right.
what's-
Right.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a relationship without resources.
I
Can
know,
can it be
right?
done?
Did
Is
you
it-
see what I mean?
Is it
Every
possible?
bottom dollar comes
Yeah.
down to
Yeah.
concrete,
Yeah.
the ground, man.
Yeah, and development.
And development.
Yeah,
And, they keep
and
saying-
extraction.
And
they've been-
taking.
Yes.
They've been saying this since contact. If you just do this, you
Yeah.
guys are going to be civilized and
Yeah.
we're going to grow. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, we don't.
Right.
We love how we are.
That's
we don't
right.
want to be walking around with suits on and
That's right.
24 hours a day and like going to bed and like just dying at 50 of a heart attack. Like
Right.
that's not who we are.
so true.
We really are.
It's
We
so
love to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
We love to laugh. We love
Yeah.
to sit and converse.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
what life is, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that hectic rat 9 to 5.
Right. It's about
rat
enjoying
race.
it.
Yeah.
Living.
Trying to-
Livin,
and that's why we
man.
guys. That's why we're here. The Harv and Jace show. We want to thank all the people watching. Hey, Harv, subscribing
All of y'all.
and commenting, sharing. The Autumn Peltier one is doing really well.
Yes.
Winnie Matroni.
She actually said, Autumn. She said that was one of her best interview experiences ever.
Oh, how
That's
great.
She's done
crazy.
millions
Oh,
of
that's
them.
so
That's
great.
crazy. Like, I should have been wearing a cape because I
Right.
was super nervous.
Right. Right, with an N on it.
Yeah,
And like
like,
a gidgety thing. Like, No, she's a true celebrity. And, you know,
God.
like, she goes all over the world. She's a global phenomenon. And she said that was one of her funnest and best interviews that she's done. And that,
That's cool.
she
That's
said-
awesome.
And she would love to come back, but she also said when COVID's over, she wants to come and we'll give her a tour of Six Nations.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Isn't that
Nice,
awesome?
yeah.
So,
Awesome.
really cool. So thank you guys for supporting the show.
Yeah.
We want to thank Miracle Man's for helping us grow and get these. Everything's growing. Like the
Yes.
fact that we can do Zooms.
Jesse's Miracle and the Miracle Man will have a location soon.
Yep.
That's right. He's opening up.
Right
Yeah,
in
right
Schwegen.
in the village of
Yep.
Schwegen.
And that's going to be booming, a restaurant. So hopefully
Yes.
the COVID's over when people can enjoy the restaurant now,
Yeah.
right? So thank you to Miracle Man's. Thank you to Cap and Chucky's. We got the hat on there.
there.
All your guys' support, prescribing and watching. Thank you so much. We can announce a really cool guest in the future. We have confirmation.
We do have confirmation for the March 10th.
Yep.
Yeah, so cool. Actual boyhood idol of mine, hockey player and phenom,
Theron Fleury.
Oh, that's amazing.
Theron Fleury is going to be on the Harv and Jay show
Oh.
March 10th, so look for that.
Amazing.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
so
the
I'm
people-
gonna have to get the cape out for that.
right? The people we talk to, dude.
Yeah.
And his story is so inspiring.
yeah.
The
He's a
things
good
that he's
interview.
overcome. You wouldn't have known it in his hockey career, how fantastic he was as a hockey player. You would think, oh, he must be living large and his mental game must be good. But he was
Right.
going through all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we get to talk about that and how he overcome it.
Right.
And so I'm super, super excited.
I know he's been sober for several years
This
now.
is
so
so
like,
cool.
yeah,
Like
that's
he
gonna be
overcome
awesome.
those demons. So I can't wait for that. So make sure you guys check out for that. That's another part of what you do. You're a poet.
Yes,
Yes.
I totally am. Yeah. First and foremost,
Let's
poet.
talk a little bit about what you do.
Sure, yeah. And so I'm the current McMaster University and Hamilton Public Library writer in residence.
Amazing.
And it was. I have a really interesting story actually that relates to one of your past guests. Is this young woman, female, non-native woman? She, like, as the writer in residence, I do writing consultations with
Nice.
people. So this woman, she sent me some of her work to read and review and give her feedback. And it turns out, like, she writes stories about her real life ghost encounters. And so I was like reading her pages and like they're so interesting. I was just like, wow, this is so cool.
Wow.
Really? This happened to you? And then I happened to say, hey, we've got a group here on 6th that goes out on ghost hunts and things like that. She goes, really? I said, yeah. I said, I think they'd be open to having you come along and stuff. So they actually got
Cool.
together and she's been like going on ghost hunts with
Wow.
them now. And I thought, wow, that's so cool because, Snipe
Yep.
is so open. They invite anybody to
Oh,
go
yeah.
with
Take
them.
us one
Yeah,
day.
that-
Oh my God, you should go.
I know, right?
And I'm just so excited by all of the different groups here on Six Nations that do wonderful things like this,
Right.
and that we can connect, them with other people outside.
Collab, work
yeah, man.
together,
Everybody
inspire
should be
each
working
other.
together.
Yes.
And we
Yeah.
inspire each other. I think that's what it is the most,
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that's happening, we're launching on the 28th of January, is with goodminds.com. And goodminds.com has
Yes.
been like, a staple within the community
Yep.
for a long, long time, offering amazing selection of Indigenous books, curriculum,
Amazing.
and fiction, and other things like this. And so they're starting a new video book series and on their YouTube channel, and it's called 13 Moons, 13 Reads. And so
Awesome.
I get to
Awesome.
host that
That's
and
awesome.
interview all kinds of amazing Native
Yeah,
authors
that's
and
amazing.
dig into their stories and have them
That
read
sounds
from
super
the book.
interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
I love those personalities and pulling out those inspirations and stuff because, like, when we talked with Dalby, the author, right? Like,
Yes.
I would have
Yeah.
never known that. He's so athletic, and I've known him to be so athletic and driven, but I didn't know he's so creative and
Nice.
like to
Yeah, he's a
spin-
great writer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah.
it comes from different places, right?
Yeah,
It's crazy,
exactly.
the
And like
inspiration.
I'm waiting for you guys to do music because like I'm such a fan of like
Right.
both of your music histories.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm still a fan of what you have put out today. So I'm just waiting for that,
That-
to
we
come
got
onto the Harv and Jay show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will do that. We've talked about that. I would love to do some
Yeah.
music. I'd like to actually do an updated song with him, maybe.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
It's been a while since I did anything, so I'm ready to do something
Nice.
soon. I think.
And and more so than just like a Harv and Jace fun one. Like we could actually do something and put out like a res song, man,
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
and have some fun with
Heck
it.
yeah.
Banger.
Because we even got crazy talk here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything could happen, man.
Yeah, we got the resources.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
And so yeah, that's really cool.
Josh Miller has a new song coming out.
Okay.
So I'm kind of helping him, not like official manager, but I'm
Yeah.
helping him with his new things. So he's got a new song out called Solidarity.
Okay.
It's a
Cool.
banger.
Awesome.
It's a banger. And then Shane Powless from Red Door, he's doing
Yeah.
the
Yep.
video for that. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
again, people coming
for that.
together,
So
just
look for
helping
that.
each
Yep.
other out.
All friends of the show.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's really great. Drake has made some music history by becoming the first artist ever to break the 50 billion streams mark on Spotify.
Wow.
50,
That's insane.
Billion.
Like
That
I'm not a
is
big Drake
crazy,
fan.
right?
Who?
Like, there's some-
somebody is.
There's some
'cause-
songs that are
That's a lot of
you
fans.
know worth listening to maybe I guess, but
Right.
I'm not. There none of them are on my playlist.
But what's huge is like the TikTok and stuff now. Like his new song, "Left Coast Slide," da da da. They're all like TikTok videos. Like these kids take these new songs and they like 300
blow 'em
million
up.
kids all over the world just do and they're dancing to them and stuff. So it's like
Wow.
Yeah.
a little bit more about the content now than the music, right? So
Right.
I don't know, 50 billion streams, dude. God's Plan, which was one of my favorite songs, has 1.67 billion streams on its own, and is going to build on those numbers because he's releasing a new album, Certified Lover Boy, later in 2021. So,
Right. Yeah,
so it's gonna get those streams up.
Cha-ching.
Crazy, 50
Doesn't
billion.
he have a mansion somewhere in Toronto?
My God.
He lives in a mansion.
I'm
somewhere.
pretty sure he does. It's where he's originally from.
Oh
right,
yeah.
Toronto.
He's probably got a few mansions, man. I would
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah. And he just started from Degrassi in Toronto,
Yeah.
right? You would think he played a wheelchair paralyzed.
Wheelchair
Oh, did he
Jimmy.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
that.
crazy. It's crazy where he came from. A video of Eminem is going viral after he launched a few jabs at UFC President
Yeah,
Dana White. Did
Dana.
you see that?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Dana was not impressed.
He was not impressed, but during an interview on SportsCenter ahead of the Conor McGregor fight, the video shows Eminem saying to Dana, "The best part of your opinion is that it doesn't matter. If every fighter had listened to your opinion when you doubted them, you wouldn't have a league." But he said, "Effing league." You know how he said he's more a little bit
He's a little more street.
street than I am, yeah. And Dana, he just sat there, looked shocked. So did the announcer.
Right.
But it turned out it was like something to do with his music video. He released a music video, a UFC-inspired music video called "Higher."
Oh.
So maybe
really?
maybe it was just like a ploy, like an Andy Kaufman thing.
Oh,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
some
people do that
promotional
kind of
thing,
stuff.
yeah.
publicity
Yeah,
stunt.
yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And he knew that was gonna come, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm just throwing things out
You
there.
never
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
You
You never know.
Right.
I can
Eminem.
speculate.
Yeah.
I
Or
love
could just be
Eminem.
Eminem just spouting off, like, because he don't really
Right.
give two Fs.
No, Eminem's a legend. I got to see him in Lollapalooza in Chicago.
Oh,
Nice.
We like literally 100 feet from the stage, and he performed all my favorite songs, like Rap God, and which is you know
Yeah.
fast Rap
Oh,
God
yeah.
is like word for word, and
Wow.
he bring out Rihanna, and it's like insane, man.
Oh, wow.
It's
That sounds
huge,
awesome.
Huge. It was amazing. Pop star, do you know Billie Eilish, the new pop star?
Yes.
The
I've
young,
heard of her,
she's
yeah.
amazing,
Yeah, I don't know
new
who it is.
star. Is
Bad
it-
guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh.
Yeah, but she's a huge fan of the cereal Fruit Loops. And she recently ordered 70 boxes online because she just wanted to stock up.
Yeah.
But she paid $35 each for them. And people
Right.
are online saying, "Are you crazy? These are like $3 at the grocery store." You know what I
Right.
mean? It's just like, I don't know anything about money. You know?
Because she grew up poor, right?
Right.
And she just went from being super poor to, she
instantly
did this song
rich.
and
Oh,
bang,
wow.
she's,
Oh,
now
wow.
she's rich and
And she said she was just surfing the net and said, "Oh, Fruit Loops, my favorite cereal," and 35 seemed reasonable.
I
to
wish
her.
I was making that Fruit Loop sale that
Right, right. I heard one time that Cher doesn't know how to order pizza because she's never had to order pizza, so
Oh,
she has to
wow.
go through her assistant to help her. How do you order
Wow.
a pizza? What's
Right.
my address?
Right,
How
exactly.
so you know,
I
some
mean,
people,
that's just crazy. Like she got $2,000 like that for Fruit Loops, and she,
Amazing.
you know, crazy. I don't know. That's just the disconnection between normal people and people who are really, really rich.
right?
I like this. I love this actually. Susan Aglu Clark, who's one of my favorite all-time
She's a
artists.
legend, an
Absolute icon in Indigenous history, music history, and also mainstream Canadian history, not just
Yeah.
Indigenous, right? Celebrated her birthday this week, so we want to say happy birthday, Miss Susan Aglu
Happy
Clark.
birthday.
She was the first Inuit musician to win a Juno Award, winning 3 in total, and her single OCM reached the top of the Canadian country and contemporary radio charts. And it was the first time I seen someone who looked like me on CMT, like this huge country station that was like watched by everyone in Canada. And to see OCM on those charts, remember how they had the video charts, like hit #1.
it's so anthemic. Oh,
Right.
Sam, we are your people. Whatever it goes.
I was stuck to the glass and saying, "Oh my God, I can do this! I can do this!" because I seen it happening. So it really set in me that, oh, someone that looks like me can do it.
Right.
And the funny thing about that was I got to do a show with her in Ottawa, and she didn't have her band. She was just doing keynote speaking. And I was like, "What? They bring you out and you're not singing?" I said, "That it seems like a wasted opportunity." And I was like, "My band's going to be there." I said, "Would you do OCM with us?"
Oh, nice.
And she's like, "Oh my God, I would love that."
Oh,
So
cool.
my
Awesome.
band learned OCM, and at the end of that conference, we didn't tell anybody. We called Susan up, and
Nice.
like that conference, they went crazy, and we did. My band, we nailed it. I got to singing with her. It was
Awesome.
insane.
Cool.
Sounds like a great
coolest
time.
What a moment! What a moment!
The coolest moment ever. So I'm
Wow.
so
Yeah.
glad that I got to share that and talk about that a little bit because I wanted us to talk more about our music and more about
Right.
stuff that we've done. You know, like we like to bring to light everyone else's stuff, but we've done a lot
Yeah.
of stuff too. You know,
Yeah.
so the Toronto Maple Leafs are #1 in the NHL, man, and Mitch
Yes.
Marner's #1 in points in the NHL,
Yes.
tied with Conor McDavid.
Yeah, he got the game winner against Calgary.
Is that the
other
gloves?
night.
You
Yeah,
brought the
that's-
gloves.
Yeah, the
Look at
gloves.
that.
If you didn't notice on set, brought a pair of mitts in.
And that's the Toronto Maple Leafs gloves, the Wayne
Yeah.
Simmons gloves. So if we ever disagree, you have to grab those
Yep.
gloves and shake them.
Drop
That's
gloves.
right.
And if
Shake
I
the
don't
gloves
smarten
and
up,
pop.
If you disagree.
I think I like when people do that. You want to drop the glove?
Yeah. Wayne Simmons.
Yep. So if you see those little gloves hit here, me and Harv are going to be rolling around.
Yeah,
friends.
something
Duking
just
it out.
went down.
So that's really, really cool. Jack Campbell and Joe Thornton and Nick Robinson, they're all out. They're all hurt
Yeah.
right now, so that kind of sucks. And Freddie Anderson just passed Curtis Joseph for number 4 on Leafs franchise wins.
Good on him.
With 139.
Just behind Potvin now.
Right. He's behind Potvin, who has 160.
Yeah.
And Johnny Bauer had 219. And the great Walter
Turk
Turk
Broda.
Broda is number 1 with the Leafs with 304 wins.
Wow.
That's like
that
double
one might
what
be
Anderson's
yeah,
done.
that might be untouchable.
That's
for
crazy.
A while.
That's a lot of wins, man.
Yeah.
That is a lot of wins. And speaking of the Leafs, some sad news
Yes.
as George the Chief
Yes,
Armstrong
rest in peace.
passed away at 90.
Yeah, he was an inspiration to a lot of Aboriginal hockey players
Yes,
back
he
in
was.
the day, right? Like,
He passed away at the age
to this
of
day still.
90. Yeah, he totally is. The former Maple Leafs captain, and he was actually won 4 cups with the Leafs.
yeah.
Isn't that insane?
He was the captain for all 4 cups.
That's
too, I
right.
believe.
Where's he from? His native
It
guy?
was also Ojibwe, yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, and his own has his own statue on the Legends Row in Toronto, which is a huge accolade. There's only like
Yeah.
10 of them, if that, right?
Yep.
In their whole 100-year history. So his famous number 10 is now retired. No one can wear number 10.
Right.
His numbers hanging from the rafters. And it's just a huge icon for Indigenous people. And he was a
Right.
big Indigenous advocate
Yeah.
at the end of his years, too. Right?
75 years he spent with the Toronto Maple Leaf organization.
Wow.
As an ambassador,
As an
right?
ambassador, as a coach, player.
Crazy.
And then just being with the team.
90 years old. That's a good ripe old age.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. What a great life, great impact.
Yeah.
The Washington
Give him a
Capitals.
rattle.
That's
Yeah,
right.
man.
This is for
the-
George Armstrong.
For the Chief.
That's awesome.
Yep.
This is crazy. The new Mame King. We mentioned Conor McGregor over. Did you see the fight, man?
I just watched the highlights.
Conor McGregor got knocked
Yeah.
out, man, by Dustin
Yeah.
Poirier. And I was thinking, like, Native people don't say you got knocked out.
Yeah.
That was that was from the movie Friday, right?
Friday, yes.
You got knocked up.
Yeah.
Ow. I was just thinking, like, wouldn't it be funny, like, somebody gets knocked out, you just see, like, a Native person there. Somebody call their Duda. You know? I don't know. It's just kind of crazy, man. Conor McGregor got knocked out. And the memes are going crazy with him because he was asleep. Like,
so now Nate Robinson gets a rest.
Bernie, yeah.
Bernie.
The Bernie memes that actually messed with my brain because people were just trying to show pictures of their family or whatever, and I was like looking for Bernie. It messed with me up. That's got to be some kind of thing, right?
It's PTSD.
That's what it is. And I did not want to see another Bernie meme in my life in those mittens. But yeah, now it's Conor McGregor, and then now they're putting Conor together with Nate and Bernie together, and it's kind of crazy. The world of memes is just hilarious.
It's never ending.
And McGregor was given a 60-day injury suspension for his leg. Remember, he got his leg smashed up.
Yeah.
So,
Yikes.
I don't know.
Well, he took a pretty good punch to the face that
Darn
put
right.
him down on the ground there.
But he said that Poirier was kicking him. He was doing these calf kicks where he was kicking him in the calf. I think, that's
Yeah.
sick all night. But this is also crazy in the NHL, a blockbuster trade, and this is truly a blockbuster. Winnipeg traded their best scoring sensation, Patrick Laine.
Yeah.
Like, he's like literally one of 3 people who can score 50, 60 goals every year.
He went number 2 behind Austin
Austin
Matthews.
Matthews. And they traded him for the number 3 in that draft.
Right.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
That is wild.
Kind of crazy. They got Dubois, who single-handedly put the Leafs out last year with Columbus.
Right.
So I know he's an impact player. But Laine, that guy, he can
Laine's
score,
got
dude.
dynamic scoring ability.
Yeah, it's insane. I don't know.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Pierre-Luc
Dubois.
Dubois. Man, this has been cool.
Yeah.
We had a new voice with us. And it was
different
super cool.
perspective.
Add a little energy, and it's kind
And
of
a
what
sweet
amazing poem.
Sweet poem for you.
And like it kind of like the Leafs the other day, you know how they bumped out Spezza and Barabanoff, and they bring in the young guys, Boyd and all them. It's like it's a breath of fresh air. They just add a
Right.
little energy to it. So you've done that for
Oh,
us.
thank you.
Right.
And so I just want to thank you guys for joining us
Yes.
again, Harv and
Yowie.
Jace.
Yeah, now with a cap and Chucky's.
Right. And we want you to go check out Cap and Chucky's, Miracle Man's, but we also want you to become a member on harvandjace.com.
Yes.
We want you to subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're like getting up to 300 subscribers now, which is great. Our videos are all getting close to like 1,000 videos.
Amazing.
And the New Year's Eve one with Don Burnstick's like over 8,000 on YouTube, but it's got
Yes.
thousands on Facebook
It's almost
too,
like Drake.
Right. I know. See, we're only that
We're
much.
coming for them numbers,
We're coming
Drake.
for those 50 billion views. Oh my God. Insane. But we want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hello, Jack Armstrong here. Shout out to Six Nations and all the indigenous territories across the world. Love you folks. Thank you so much for being such big sports fans. And I tell you what, if you're not watching my good buddies, the Harv and Jace show, you better get the garbage out of here. Become a member now at harvandjace.com.
It's the Harv and Jace show.